No, game. Let's have a game. There we go. Okay, last thing, sorry. There we are. Hi, guys. Welcome to Play by Play. My name is Sean Bouchard. This is not the first show of the new year, quite. I did one a couple of weeks ago, but it was a little bit of a weird one. It was very casual. Jesse and I played Colt Express together on 2 streams from 2 adjacent rooms, which was a lot of fun, but a little out of character for the show. And then last week I was sick. So this is the first, like, really play-by-play of 2017. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming. Play-by-Play is a show where I play video games and explore the design of them, typically focused on the experience design, but also touching on other things. Most of you probably already know that, but, you know, I don't know. It's fun. I introduced myself. I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Let's do something fun for a little while. We're gonna play 2 games tonight. One of them, I put up 2 polls this afternoon, and I always find this fascinating, personally. Where I named the games, 4 options for games that I should play, the clear winner was Titan Souls. My suspicion, that I've seen, like, some anecdotal evidence of, is that people tend to vote for the game that they know the best. Titan Souls, I think, of the 4 games that I listed, which were Titan Souls, Reigns, The Guest, and Tharsis, people might have been most familiar with Titan Souls. It's maybe the most sort of mainstream of those games. In the second poll that I posted, in which I did not name the games, Reigns was far and away the winner. So we're going to play both of them. The theme for tonight is games that are not meant to be played with a keyboard and mouse, being played with a keyboard and mouse. So it's going to be really interesting to see, first of all, if we can tell how these games were designed with other input methods in mind, and how well that translates or doesn't. I'm on the bad mic. All right, give me a second. How well that translates or doesn't. Oh, I am on the bad mic. Here's that better? Can you guys hear me any better? Whether or not that translates into a keyboard and mouse experience, which, you know, brings up interesting production trade-offs. It is really hard to ship a game over Steam that doesn't support keyboard and mouse. But it's, you know, it's really easy to create a game that doesn't that isn't optimized for that. So we're gonna look at both of these. The first of them is Reigns. Reigns is intended to be a mobile game, and I've heard people rave about it as a mobile game. And I think that the game experience is mostly the same, except that I will be simulating swipes with my mouse. And so there's a sort of physical pleasure to swiping on a mobile screen that I miss out on when I'm doing this mouse and keyboard. Let's get started. Yeah, there was no audio at the beginning, so oh wait, I don't think I started from the beginning. Can I? There's no restart option? Game, you make me so mad. Okay, so part of just behind the scenes, part of my process is, oh Jesus, yeah, the game is creating some ringing, which is definitely the game, and I believe intentional. I'm gonna take the volume down so that maybe it's not so bad. Part of my process is that I need to start the game and set it up so that it registers so that I can, oh yeah, Jesus, so that I can stream it. There are occasionally games that have an intro that that don't play the intro a second time, and so I completely missed the intro. I think there was an intro to this game. I hope it wasn't important. Fuck, I hate that so much. Hold on. I'm gonna let me see if I can quit and restart it if that has any effect. I'm just gonna restart this. Because the introductory experience is so important, I hate to miss it. No, the ringing is 100% definitely coming directly from the game. So there maybe is something fucked up about the game, like corrupted. But if I click away, if I defocus the game, the ringing immediately stops. This is not a mic problem or like a headset problem. This is in the software. I think it's supposed to be music. Oh, this looks like the intro. So maybe this is all that I was missing. I'm going to turn the music... No, that's not music. Yeah. All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to see if this is driving you like totally fucking crazy. Then let me know. I'll try to check the chat. All right, we're going to go into this. So 0 users in power, which suggests, you know, power. You're in charge of... Was there anything before this? I guess not. You're in charge of the mess now. Good luck with that. They're all pretty crazy. You will see. Who or what? I see. Who? Just try to keep a balance between the 4 powers to keep your head on its shoulders. Okay, I can do that. The spirit looks at you thoughtfully, then disappears. You enter the courtroom. Yeah, the audio is really fucking weird. Oh, well, and it's like super weird because... Yeah, now it stops. I'm going to turn the music off. I'm going to turn the music off because that's terrible. Our flag should be changed. It's not really fashionable. Yes or no? What are the options? No. What are the options? Red cross on a golden field. Something else. A brown spade on a gray sky. No, I don't like that. Orange cannon on a green canvas. Wow, there is something really weird about this audio. Because it's still doing it occasionally. An orange cannon on a green canvas. No. A blue pig with a purple crown. No, not regal enough. The river drop is dry again. We should build a dam. Did I just say yes to that? Yes. Let's do that. Okay, I just lost some money and gained some people. This dam will limit the Vikings' access to water. Are you sure you want to proceed? Oh, okay. So when I do this, I get little circles above the sword and the cross. When I do this, I get big circles over the person and the money. Okay, that increased my religion and military, even though it decreased access to water by the I don't know. An earthquake destroyed a large part of the capital. The city guard awaits your orders. I think big circle means grow and little circle means decrease. So I want to grow money and decrease people? That doesn't seem right. It seems like the other way around. It is the other way around. Your country is ruined, my lord. Merchants and nobility own everything. What? The oligarchy forces you to exile. What? The king is dead. Okay. I didn't do that very well. Corrupted music files, you think? I'll look into that, but I'll look into it later. Let me try that again. So big circle means down, little circle means up. This is my new working theory. This is one of those interesting games. So mobile games do this a lot. Modern indie games do this a lot. It can really work and it can really backfire. This is one of those games that relies on an intuitive UI and is deliberately cagey about explaining it. Which can go really well. People hate reading tutorials. And so you avoid putting in tutorials that people have to read. It is often not the best way to solve that problem. It also relies heavily on how intuitive your UI is, and intuition is subjective, which means that even if you design really well and test really well and your UI is intuitive to most people, some people will find it entirely backwards. I find this entirely backwards. If this is the way that it works, I feel like a big circle suggests growth and a little circle suggests diminishment. And it seems like it's reversed. But maybe I'm still misunderstanding how this works. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Edward, second king, govern at least 5 years. Let's see if we can do it. Are you the young king? Yes, I am. Just kidding. I know we've been through this already. That's our curse. See? I don't understand. I'm not sure. I don't understand. We will remember in each and every... Is it doing the fucking thing again? There's something seriously wrong. Okay, if I turn the sound off entirely. We will remember each and every king of this dynasty, every compromise, every death for ages. It is said only the devil will allow us to blissfully forget the cursed kings. But does he even exist? I mean, we're talking to some spirits, like, maybe. That's an interesting thought. Maybe he does. Maybe we'll find him eventually. Interesting. I'm going to say no. Because why not? I've just invented a philosophy for myself. Okay. One year in power. The King of the West is offering us money to buy a small part of the country. No. What? Okay. I'm trying to understand this UI, guys. I'm trying real hard. So everything starts off at 50%, and the important bit is that I keep it all balanced. I think also if I'm trying to maximize it all. They're all good things. is the impression that I get. What I don't want is to like crash out on any of these stats. Okay, so the King of the West is offering money to buy a small part of the country. If I say yes, narratively, what I expect is that I would gain money and lose population. If I say no, I would expect nothing would happen. Right? So this has a small dot over money. This has large dots over money and population. So maybe the dot just means this is a stat that it will affect and how much, but not which direction. So this way, money will be affected a little bit. This way, population and money will both be affected a lot. Presumably, population will go down and money will go up. I'm going to try this. I'm going to take, even though this is what I want, I'm going to do yes to test that theory. Hey, look, that's exactly what happened. And it seems like by a lot. You should organize a curfew. The streets of the capital are not safe at night. Okay, how's that going to affect people? They're going to be safer, so good for people. How's it going to affect military? I'm going to have to hire more military, so good for military. How's it going to affect money? It's going to be expensive. It's going to cost money. On the other hand, I could do this and it would decrease my people and my military. My people are already dangerously low, so I'm going to go this way. Yeah, it did what I thought it was going to do. An explosion in the mine has killed at least 100 people. Should we continue to dig? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Yes is going to kill people but get us money. No is going to lose us money. I don't want to kill people. Should we build embassies in neighboring countries? It may be a good way to prevent wars. I like preventing wars. Probably good for people. Probably bad for military. Probably bad for money? By a lot? No, only affects people. But it's probably bad for people. Good, bad. I'm gonna go with this one because it affects the least. The message says a village in the south is encouraging polygamy. Send the church makes the church more powerful. Send the army makes the army more powerful. Send the church. I governed for 5 years! Yeah! I'm so fucking young. My lord, the wolves are eating our children. Can we hunt them? You're bluffing. I will hunt them myself. This seems like a... Ooh, what an interesting moment. So, I believe that this game is procedurally generated and or recombinant. This doesn't feel like a scripted moment to me. This feels like a partially a generative moment because I don't understand this English. The wolves are eating our children. Can we hunt them? You're bluffing. They're not really eating our children? We just want to hunt them? For money? Maybe? Also, this will affect all of my stats a little bit. I have no idea how. I think people will go up. I don't know what is going to happen anything else. Why would I care about the wolves? Why not hunt the wolves? Hunt the fucking wolves, right? This will do nothing to my stats. In a lot of ways, this is the option that I want. I am incentivized as a ruler to maintain the status quo. Because the thing that I don't want is for anybody to get too mad at me. I don't think that I care if everybody loves me. As long as nobody gets too mad at me. So status quo is good for me. I am really curious, though. I'm a curious king. I want to know what this is going to do to these stats. Wolves are eating our children. You are bluffing about that. People goes down. Money goes down. Because people got eaten by wolves. Money goes down for an unknown reason. Military goes up. I don't know. I don't know. Why would military go up? And religion goes up because I defied the popular. I don't know. No idea. Find company of your drunken soldiers ransacked an abbey. We want justice. Good on religion, bad on military. Good on military. No. Good on religion, bad on military. Really bad on religion, good on military. I'm going to go this way. Cereals are very cheap these days. You should adjust the price of bread. Double it, raise it slightly. Raise it slightly gives me a little bit of money. Double it gives me a lot of money and fucks me over on population. Population is the thing I care about. Message says islanders are menacing us. We should attack them before they attack us. Yes? No. I can't risk these people. So I have to. Oh shit! My military went down. I thought military would go up. I just attacked, didn't I? A ship has been quarantined. It may be the plague. Shall we quarantine the whole port? Yes. Is going to hurt my military, or is going to hurt my money, which is bad. It's going to help my military? I don't know what it's going to do to my military, but it's going to do a lot. And it's going to help my population a little, which I desperately need. This would hurt my population. Yeah, that hurts my military. So every time I use military power, I lose it. But then there are ways that I can empower the military. I think it's weird. Our beautiful capital smells of garbage half the year. Let's build a sewer system. That's expensive. Oh shit! No, I don't have that money. I got no money there. I got no money. Sorry. Who's in charge of this bird? Who's in charge of the bird? Don't know. The tower of the basilica is falling apart. No, can't do it. Sacrifice religion. Would you like to marry the young princess of a neighboring kingdom? That won't affect my population. This affects everything. How? It is good. It's universally good. Thank God. A group of villagers pretend they're assaulted by celestial beings. It's probably a trick to pay less tax. I believe them. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I'm going to try to get a lot of good on people here and lose a little bit of money. I lost all my money. The new oligarchy forces you to exile. "16 years in power." Okay. Third king. Win a duel, recruit the doctor, meet the devil. I have new goals. Oh, I didn't talk with spirits that time. My lord, a good doctor just saved the life of my nephew. He's a bit of a magician. He's here now. Let him in. I want to recruit him. I recruited the fucking doctor. I'm a doctor, alchemist, poisoner. I can handle life for you or death occasionally. I got new cards. Dirty science. Focus on the life part. Yes. The war is long and painful. Call for a ceasefire. Yes. Military goes down. Money should go up. And so should people. Jesus, the military went down a lot. We need to build a new church. Okay, yeah. Let's do it. Woof, woof. Rex invites you to follow him. All right. Okay. Woof, grr. Rex brings you to a lonely caravan in the marketplace. Enter the caravan. Loon the seer. Don't tell me I see a king. Full of glory and regal composure, in front of him lay a dog? That was not one of my objectives, but apparently it was an achievement of some sort. With red eyes and a smirk, here he comes again, the devil. I do want to meet the devil. That'll be 600 gold pieces. What the fuck? Which is small. It's a small change in money. Okay, I'll do it. Your army needs a good leader, and you chose me. Listen to my advice. Yes. I see the philosopher enclosed in the heart of the crusade. This will affect money. Or, sorry, religion. Okay. Nope, that was bad. The miners are refusing to dig in the mine. They want to raise. No will increase my money a little bit and decrease my population. That's fine. Heard strange noises in the castle last night. We should have more guards patrolling. No will hurt my population. Yes. Will decrease my military. As I understand the weird way that military works, I would be expending military here. Which, I gotta say, doesn't make any sense to me. But I also can't afford to do it. So I'm gonna say no. I have a gift for you in one of my hands. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Left. Oh, Graham Loosetongue gives you a dead bird, then he runs away shrieking. Fuck you, Graham Loosetongue. Also, there's an interesting irony that the right-hand choice was left and the left-hand choice was right. That's utterly meaningless, but kind of quirky funny, I guess. Fuck you, Graham. Could we dismember Graham Loosetongue, please? This clown broke down a trebuchet. Yes, I would like to do that. He's a fucking moron. I was playing tennis with a giant. He won. Pay the army. Go away. I would lose population, but also lose Graham Loosetongue. I'm gonna do this. Get rid of that fucker. The doctor's conducting ungodly experiments in a hidden room. He must be stopped. I'm well aware of that. Or yes, he must be stopped. The church is weak and the people blasphemous. This will increase the church, I think. Give us enough power to enforce the divine justice in your country. The Pope is ready to pay the price. Oh, interesting. Bad for the military, which is tricky, but worth it. Eastern baronies are at war again, and their population is crossing our frontier as we speak. Close the frontier or welcome them. Okay. Close the frontier. Close the frontier is going to require the expenditure of military resources. In the real world, that means hiring additional military personnel and giving the military more power. Maybe these meters measure how much control I have in various aspects, because when the money one gets all the way down, it says that merchants take over the government and have me executed. So money is not how much money I have, it's how much influence I have, how much control I exert over the moneyed classes. The military one is how much control I exert over the military. And if the military grows, if the military gets more powerful, then I have less control of it. It has more potential to overthrow me. Okay, so that said, I don't know what this would do to my money, but I think that it would cost me military because it would be giving the military their own autonomous power. Therefore, I have to do this one, right? Because this would lose the game. Fuck. What? I don't know. There's a cholera outbreak in the capital. It's the Blue Death. Close the gates. Treat the population. How does any of this affect my military? Close the gates. Close the gates would require the expenditure of military force. Treat the population would also require the expenditure of military force. This is going to be bad for population by a lot. This is going to be good for population. Bad for religion because it's medicine. Definitely bad for money, but I can take that hit. This is going to be using more military than this. That was bad for population? You're under arrest. You've broken the commandments of the blessed church. Go to hell. You're sentenced to be burnt alive. Your name is erased from books and buildings. Oh no! Okay. I only made it 14 years. All right. So this was my first reign. Oh, God, sorry. I was trying to scroll, but I couldn't actually scroll. Okay, so some interesting things that are happening so far. One is there's a persistent memory. So each game is relatively short, right? 16 years is my streak so far. I'm sure that if I get good at this, I'll be able to do better than that. But still, that's relatively short. I'm not going to play a game that's more than, 60 years. Is what I'm guessing. But there's a legacy system. The decisions that I make become history for subsequent monarchs. I'll be really interested to see, like, oh, look, I got a new achievement that I'm supposed to meet. Is the doctor part of my cabinet still? Like, did the doctor stay on as legacy from the last king? I don't know. Okay. Other things that are interesting that are happening here. Oh, that was Okay, so there are basically two systems at play. One of them is highly mechanical, and it is about maintaining all four of these resources. Because when you lose any of the resources, you die. And this is a very gamey sort of a system that has a memory, but its memory is sort of exposed, right? Its memory is your stats in these four areas. So if I do something, if I pass a tax, that's gonna decrease my population and increase my money. And that change in stats persists then to the next decision that I have to make. And for the next decision I have to make is, you know, do I want to pay to, I don't know, put on a party, put on a festival. That's going to cost money, but it's going to increase my population. And so I can choose that option, and it's going to sort of balance those things back out. That is... so that's a pretty straightforward system. Because these things are like random and there's guesswork in them, I am playing a game around trying to keep all of those things balanced, sometimes finding myself in situations where it's technically difficult, it's mechanically difficult to keep them in balance, because the option that I have that's going to give me population is going to cost me military, and if both my population and my military are low, then that's a tricky decision to make, right? Is it going to decrease my population too much if I don't do it? Is it going to decrease my military too much if I do it? Like what's because those aren't those are obscured. Those actual numbers are generally obscured, and even sometimes the direction of change is obscured. I'm sort of like trying to keep all of this stuff in balance, and there's challenge to it. The second system that is happening simultaneously is a narrative system. It's I think, sort of a branching narrative, like a pretty simple, if some things happen, then that opens up new options subsequent, or closes them down. The sort of trick to it is that they're not what we would call what is the word? Determined. I am blanking on the form of the word determined. That deterministic. There we go. They're not deterministic. So in a traditional, in a choose your own adventure novel, or a traditional Twine story, Twine game, the narrative is deterministic. It's interactive but deterministic. If I choose yes, then the next bit of narrative and the next choice that I receive are always going to be the same. They're entirely dependent on that original choice. And if I choose no, then I'll get a different, but similarly entirely dependent, like predetermined bit of text and you know, another choice. In this, it seems like there is a procedural element. It's giving me scenarios and choices in a semi-random order. And so there are some choices that I'll never get. And there are some choices that come up now, or maybe they would come up later. And there are things that happen based on choices that I make that aren't immediately apparent, because they get added to the list of possibilities from which things get drawn in the future. But when and how and maybe even what gets drawn is not necessarily known. There's a non-deterministic element to that branching narrative. But the branching narrative is still powerful. If I have a high religion, my interpretation of what happened in the last game is that my religion stat was fairly high. It was healthy. But I chose a narrative path that led to religious execution. And because I chose that narrative path, it doesn't matter what my stat is. The branching narrative is unconcerned with my stats. It affects my stats, like it has a secondary effect, but it is not actually determined by that. It's not affected in turn. So if I say, you know, go to hell to the church, they will execute me. It doesn't matter what my stats are. Likewise, if I choose to hire the doctor, then the doctor is now part of my cabinet. That changes the nature of cards that will come up later in the game. It doesn't directly affect my stats, but it indirectly affects my stats because my stats will be affected by those cards when they come up at some point later in the game, depending on the order and the timing of it. Okay. Cool. All right, I'm going to do this again. 0 years in power. Kingdom of the South claims that you're betrothed to their young princess. Declining may trigger a war. I don't want a war. War would kill people. Yes. What's the downside? No downside. Now I have a queen. My love, I would like to organize a tournoi. A tourney? Like a tournament? Or is this a word with which I am unfamiliar? Only of them. Yes, fine. That's fine. It's going to be expensive, sure, but it will probably make people happy. And I don't know what the fuck it's going to do to my military. I don't understand that stat even a little bit. Good for my military. Let's assume that it's a tourney and there's a military showmanship aspect to a tournament. And so that's why it went up. I don't know, man. This is definitely my least favorite part of this game so far, is that I get the money stat. I get the people stat, like, pretty well. I am pretty sure I get the religion stat, although I think it might be more subtle. There might be complications to it that I'm not seeing yet. This military stat, I don't fucking understand even a little bit. And there's no Civilopedia. Don't get me started on the Civilopedia for Civilization 6. Don't get me started on Civilization 6. But the design choice that this game made to have minimalist tutorial, minimalist hand-holding. God, I hate the phrase hand-holding. I wish I could take that back. Edit mark for my editor. Undo that. Minimalist tutorialization means that as a player, if there's something that I am specifically confused about, if I have a specific question, there is no recourse for me. I just have to keep playing the game in a state of frustration, trying to puzzle out how the fuck this stat works. Which is not a good position to put me in as a player. It's something that you can ask me to do for a short period of time, but I gotta say, I feel like at this point, I should not be there. I should not be saying, like, I don't understand how your game works. I've been playing it for half an hour. One of your decisions will kill thousands of innocents. That is the question that I want to ask. I don't know why that would affect my stats at all. I also don't get an answer. But that's sort of the way that this works, I guess. We should create a pilgrimage to the tomb of Saint Armand. It's going to cost money and population, probably, because I'm going to send them away. On the other hand, what will this do to my population? Why would this affect my population at all? I'm going to test it. I'm going to do it and see. Because my religion is decently high, and why did that make my population go down? My king, it seems your army has very poor hygiene. We should spend a bit on this problem. Yes, let's do it. My lord, what about a bit of fencing? I'm a good teacher. Let's bet a bit of money. No. Why did that affect my population? A ship has been quarantined. It may be the plague. Shall we quarantine the whole port? This spends military, which I think I want to do. I don't know what happens. Actually, no. Let's find out what happens when my military gets all the way up. It's a Black Death. We don't know what to do with all the corpses. This is because I didn't quarantine the port. Burn the dead, help the living, close the castle's gates. That is going to be bad for population. That was bad for everybody. Black Death. Plague is decimating your population. It's a bleak time to be the citizen of the kingdom. Does this mean this is... Oh shit, that's just going down over time. This will have an effect every second. Holy fuck. There are too many people to execute. I need help from the army. Yes? Why did that affect my military? We found some gold in the mines. Should we try digging deeper? No. Vikings are attacking us. We should defend our kingdom from the north. Attack. Why does that make my military go down? Your people are famished and unrest is spreading. What? The plague has finally entered the castle where it is quite effective at wiping out a large part of the court, you included. Okay. So there's a third system at play that is tightly integrated with the first one, the stat-based one, but instead of being turn-based, it's real-time. That's cool. That's a cool moment when I recognize that game-changing element, right? When all of a sudden the game that I thought was I was playing changes dramatically. So that was fun. Plague has finally entered the castle where it is quite effective at wiping out a large part of the court, you included. Okay, let me see if I can do one. Meet the witch, meet the devil, win a duel. Those are all... I have the same achievements that I have always had. William, 10 years in power. The seer. William didn't get a title. George, neither did George. George didn't do anything. Edward, I don't know why he was young. Bedouin, I don't know. The seer because he hired the fortune teller, I think. William didn't do a goddamn thing. Okay. I want to see if I can maximize a stat. I'm a serial killer. You're my executioner. This job sucks. If I could... Nope. I don't know what effect that had. Also, what's this number? I haven't really noticed this number. Would you like to hunt some wild pigs? Yes? Hunt was a success. Should have a very fine banquet tonight. Give the food to the people. Yeah, I'm gonna try to maximize my population stat. I could be the executioner. Oh shit, what? What? No, that sounds like a bad idea. But I am so curious. I'm looking for a simple way to test exotic new poisons. I can pay... This is going to be bad for the population, isn't it? So I'm not going to do it. New farming technique has considerably improved the harvest. What do you want to do with this income? Let's share it. It's mine. Population time. I met a strange lady well versed in the ancient arts of plants and dreams. Would you like to meet her? Yeah. Meet the witch. I met the witch. Good. White Arcanum cards are now in. Shall we go together to the spring festival? I could invite some pretty friends to entertain your foreign visitors. Yes. Trying to maximize that pop. Would you like to marry the young princess of a neighboring kingdom? This is going to be good for everything. Our enemies want a peace treaty. This is the best way to end the war. Yes. Good. I'm Lady Liana. I can help you understand the laws of nature and the limits of humankind. That does sound useful. It's been bad for religion, but it's okay. It's anarchy in the streets, my lord. A large mob is breaking into the castle. What? Your reign ends, but no one harms you. You die many years later, praised and well remembered. My population got too high. I was wondering if that was what was going to happen. 651 to 660. Wait, what happened to all my peeps? Oh, there they are. William, Bowdwin. Bowdwin did not die after 9 years. If that's the implication of the little skull. He did fall out of favor. Okay, this is super interesting. Okay, I'm going to talk for another minute about unfolding. So, oh, that number's just the year. Got it. So it keeps increasing. Can you click on the castle? Royal deeds. 4 out of 40 objectives fulfilled. Govern for at least 5 years. Recruit the doctor. See the future. Meet the witch. Oh, I was supposed to probably fight the duelist because I didn't. I have to win a duel. Meet the devil somehow. Oh, and these doing royal deeds gives me a title. That makes sense. 4 out of 26 deaths suffered. Oh, different deaths. Got it. Because I died twice in the same way, which was this one, I guess. Okay. Portrait gallery. 17 characters met. The priest, the diplomat, the queen, the nobleman, the bird, who's fucking weird. High score, Edward the Young, 16 years in power. 80 cards discovered out of a whole bunch. You have neither curse, nor spell, nor magical item, nor special event. Nothing. So, curious what that does. Okay, I just want to talk for a second about unfolding design. This is actually coincidentally appropriate today, because today I just downloaded a new game for my iPhone called Grid World. Something Grid. Grid Town is by the developer, unless I'm wrong, I believe this is correct, by the developer of A Dark Room. For those of you who have not played A Dark Room, I recommend that you look it up online. You can play it in a browser. It's free. It is an idle game, which is the genre of Candy Clicker. If you've played that or are familiar with that. A Dark Room is a really good one. It's one that I like a lot. One thing that you'll find about A Dark Room is, well, the reason that I like it is that it has a more coherent narrative ultimately than Candy Clicker does. And it, or even like Adventure Capitalist, which is another good one. Adventure Capitalist is a great, like, Skinner box. It's not necessarily a great game. Dark Room, I think, is a really good game. So Dark Room does its unfolding especially well, but Cookie Clicker is also an unfolding game. And that means that the game that you see at the very beginning, the game that it presents on first impression, evolves over time. And Cookie Clicker... Right? I'm not thinking of Cookie Clicker. What's the ASCII one? Candy? Candy something? I don't remember. But if you're familiar with idle games, then you will have seen some of these design elements in several of them. You start off with a game that is extremely simple. It typically involves like clicking something a certain number of times or doing something like that. Oh, you know what else is a good example of an unfolding game is Frog Fractions. The game starts off one way. As you progress in it, you don't just progress by linearly expanding the scope of the game as presented, which is normal, which is typical. In a game like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Yeah, in any Metroidvania, right? Or in the modern Batman games like Arkham Asylum or what's the latest one? Arkham Knight. You start off like you have a certain set of moves, you have a certain sort of environment, and as you progress through the game, you gain more moves, you gain more items that let you do different things, you gain access to a larger scaled environment. And the genre stays the same, the types of things that you're doing stay the same, even frequently the sort of mechanics stay more or less the same, but they are expanded, they're scaled. They're not fundamentally changed. They're not changed in character, they're sort of changed in scope. The Zelda games, especially, at least the earlier Zelda games, do this a lot, right? You get items as you go, and now you have like lots of tools that you can use to try to solve the puzzle at hand. That opens up more space and opens up more possibility space within the interaction world. Unfolding games do more than that. As they expand in scope and complexity, as they expand in scale, they change fundamental character. So Frog Fractions starts as a sort of like Space Invaders clone-ish shooter game, and then becomes something that is not that is completely different. A Dark Room does that beautifully, really, really elegantly. Grid World, Grid Town, whatever it is grid something. What are you saying to me? I don't know what's going on. Grid something is also an unfolding game, and I haven't played enough of it yet to see how it's going to unfold, but it is already started doing some of that stuff. This game is also unfolding, and one of the characteristics that is common to unfolding games is this minimalist tutorialization. The reins can't like sit down and tell me how to play the game because it is deliberately obscuring some of what the game is. There's no tutorial for Frog Fractions, because the Frog Fractions tutorial, if it actually tutorialized the game, would destroy the joy of that game, which is discovering that and how the game is not what it appears to be. Same with a Dark Room. Like, there's a certain amount of tutorialization that is possible, but there's a lot of it that is necessarily omitted. And so it's common, it can make, aesthetic sense to omit as much as possible, to actually do the bare minimum in terms of tutorialization, because then that feels coherent as a design choice rather than being surprising as I thought you told me how to play this game, but you lied to me. Like this feels insincere. This game, because it has no tutorial, can't feel insincere in what it promises. Because it didn't promise anything, right? I'm just discovering for myself what is what exists. Somebody in chat was really jet lag really wanted me to click on the castle, which I did. But I don't know why. I hope you're happy now. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna come back in a minute, and we're gonna play Titan Souls. And then I think what I'm gonna do for a couple of weeks is do a segment of Reigns and then a segment of Titan Souls. They are, I believe, extremely different games. My impression of Titan Souls is that it is not Reigns. But I'm super curious about this. It feels like there's a lot more to uncover. I picked this format because Thano. Oh, there's a yellow star. I don't know why there's a yellow star by the castle. It's not there anymore. I must have looked. I don't know. I picked this format because Thano suggested that Reigns might be kind of a bursty game. It was designed for mobile. It might not sustain like really extended play, which I think makes sense. Like there's a lot of repetitive elements to this game. Meanwhile, Titan Souls, I expect to be kind of like Hotline Miami, and it's just gonna be fucking a nightmare for me to play, which should be fun. But it'll be especially fun to do it in like 1 hour chunks rather than 2 hour chunks. Cool. Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break. I'll come back in just a minute, and I'll see you then.